Today on Investigate TV Plus, a ritual forcing college students into humiliating and deadly situations. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Our investigation finds many of the groups responsible face little to no consequences.
Plus, job hunters beware. Your next career move could be a scam.
I just want to warn people. I did 4 days of research. I talked to 2 lawyers.
How you can spot the signs of a fake job posting.
And making every kid feel part of the team.
I really wanted to do something that could impact the culture and, shift the game.
How this college student is helping kids explore a new sport. In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
Hazing may seem like an old-time tradition, a rite of passage among college students.
Our investigative team finds the risk of what some consider bonding rituals are still very real.
Investigative reporter Josie Sturman uncovers dangerous and sometimes deadly hazing is still happening at some of the country's biggest universities. A warning, some of what you're about to hear and see is disturbing.
Wood County 911, what is your emergency?
Hi, someone that we know is non-responsive. He drank alcohol, like a lot of alcohol.
It's just before midnight, March 4th, 2021, at Bowling Green State University in Ohio.
Do you see his chest rising up and down?
No, not right now.
Okay, and he's blue?
Yeah.
Okay, then there's a good chance he's not breathing.
The once vibrant sophomore, Stone Foltz, is on the floor of his apartment, purple and unresponsive. Just an hour before, he'd been at Pi Kappa Alpha, attending an initiation event, where police say he downed an entire bottle of bourbon in 23 minutes.
You do see it going up and down?
Flip him, please.
Do you see his chest?
Flip him. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Is it rising
Oh
or
my
not?
God! No, please! No!
Put someone else on the phone. Put someone else on the phone right now that will help him.
But help for the 20-year-old business student, athlete, and big brother is too late. Doctors cannot save Stone Foltz, who died 3 days later from fatal alcohol intoxication. His death, one of at least 50 in the last 22 years, linked to hazing.
It's a blow to the chest, and you never get used to it.
Hank Newer knows more about hazing incidents than most. His research shows that between 1959 and 2022, hazing has humiliated countless students, with at least one of them severely injured or killed every single year.
Hazing, unfortunately, does bond people together. Students make friends for life. That has been part of the problem.
There's so much more information that you need to make an educated decision.
I love that one, though.
Yeah.
Evelyn and Jim Piazza got an education in hazing the worst way possible. It cost them their youngest son, Tim. The 19-year-old was on his very first night of pledging Beta Theta Pi at Penn State University in February 2017, when a lawsuit filed by his family claims he went through a legendary hazing event, the alcohol-fueled obstacle course known as the Gauntlet. After surviving the drinking contest behind these doors, Tim, who was heavily intoxicated, fell down the stairs and was knocked unconscious. He was dumped on a couch in the basement and largely ignored for hours, with no call to 911, even though his family says Tim struggled overnight, falling again.
It took us 19 years to raise an incredible, amazing individual, and it took 12 hours for people to destroy that.
Our national investigative team spent months digging into the hazing that's continued since Tim's death, filing information requests for hazing reports from the 46 largest public and private universities required by law to make them public. We ultimately found or obtained records from 35 schools, uncovering 342 punishable hazing incidents dating back to 2017. 119 cases involved physical abuse, including sleep deprivation, punishments involving food, and strenuous exercise. And 11 hazing reports detailed students placed in compromising or sexually charged situations.
It's something you can't imagine.
It was unimaginable for Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy until the death of Max Groover at his alma mater, Louisiana State University, in 2017. After that, he introduced the End All Hazing Act. The bill would require colleges and universities nationwide to post hazing incidents on their websites.
Now, if it's a federal law, it becomes less easy to hide that.
Through dozens of records we obtained, we discovered only about a third of the organizations involved in the incidents we examined were suspended by their universities, and just 11 groups were banned from campus. The decisions permanently breaking those ties that supposedly bind during hazing and leave heartbreak in its wake.
The girls need to go in another room. 23,
Hey, go to another room. Go to another room.
25.
With friends and family on the other end of the phone line as their loved ones become statistics and headline stories. Max, Tim, Stone, names that live on when lives are lost to hazing.
The fraternities involved in the cases highlighted all condemn the actions that led to injuries and deaths. They have all taken steps to change the culture of their organizations and implemented health and safety initiatives designed to eliminate hazing.
But they still have a lot of work to do. Our investigative team found that pledging was stopped temporarily, shortened, or moved on campus following just 13 of the 265 punishable fraternity hazing incidents we examined.
Our country's future facing a mental health crisis.
That's, you never want to outlive your children. I mean, that's not how it's expected to be.
Still ahead, one family shares their fight for access to mental health care in rural America, and we have expert advice on how to start a conversation with your kids.
Plus, working from home, a pandemic necessity, it's now here to stay, and scammers are taking notice. This woman, lucky she saw the signs.
I just want to warn people.
We'll show you how to spot the red flags too. The CDC calls it a serious public health crisis that kills one American every 11 minutes. We're talking about suicide.
It's a nationwide issue. Peter Zampa explains why small towns are more vulnerable and shows us how tight-knit communities can create change. Just like the last story, we want to warn you that some descriptions in this story are disturbing.
Rolling plains, vacant roads, and a small town community where rodeo reigns supreme.
And this guy is DeWalt.
That's life for the Allen family here in Cheyenne. Andrea, Shane, and their children, Molly and Cole.
Cole was always really natural with the rope. Even when he didn't rodeo, he could swing a rope really well.
When he left for college, Cole was winning competitions and practicing alongside world champions. But something else was bubbling beneath his tough exterior.
When did you sort of start to see some of the mental health issues arrive?
Maybe 2 weeks before it happened. I was completely stunned.
That's, you never want to outlive your children. I mean, that's not how it's expected to be.
Cole died by suicide in October 2021, weeks after starting at Central Arizona College.
Cole hit it very well. Cole was small, and we always thought he was so tough because he just never acted like it bothered him. Well, that was the beginning of putting on a mask.
So do you think he had been living with some of these issues for years and was just masking them or not showing them?
You know, I think Cole didn't want to worry anybody. So I think there was some stuff going on with Cole that we didn't know. We live in a state that there's not a lot of people. There's lots of miles in between everybody. And you learn to do things for yourself, or that's the expectation.
Wyoming has the highest suicide rate in the nation. In 2021, the national rate was 14 deaths per 100,000 people. It was more than double that in Wyoming.
People come in, suicide is typically not the problem. There's a problem or problems that are causing somebody to have that mental health or suicide crisis.
Jeremy Bay works with Grace for Two Brothers, an organization in Wyoming aiming to educate the community on suicide prevention and be a safe space for those in crisis.
Would you talk about the specifics of rural life and frontier life that really contribute to this mental health crisis in this state?
I think a lot of it is access to care. Sometimes your closest mental health care provider is 50, 60 miles away. If you live in a small rural frontier town, you don't necessarily want your vehicle to be in front of the mental health care provider's home because everybody knows what's going on.
How can we address that and sort of reverse this stigma that exists?
There is so much stigma around it. People don't want to talk about it because of the reactions that they're going to get. So a lot of times people that are struggling with their mental health or thoughts of suicide need somebody else to be the one who brings it up.
How seriously do you think leaders in this state are taking this crisis?
I think that everyone is aware of the problem. I think there are people who are dedicated to the problem. I think we all need to get our canoes rowing in the same direction as to what's going to work.
Cole had so much character in that hat.
For the Allen family, sharing Cole's story is how they keep making their mark, using their grief to battle the stigma.
Don't be scared to get help. It's a condition. It's no different than cancer. You don't treat cancer at your house. You go find professional help, right? Mental health is the same thing.
I know that there are kids that are in counseling and that are getting the help that they need that may not have, because we're helping make it easier to talk about.
According to the CDC, suicide is a leading cause of death among teens, which is why the Children's Hospital of Colorado recommends that you talk to your teen about suicide now, even if they aren't showing any signs of depression.
But what if they are not ready to talk? The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention says your teen may open up when you least expect it, like during a car ride or while engaged in an activity.
Experts say the best thing you can do is listen. And if you or someone you know needs help, call or text 988 to speak to a crisis counselor at the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Still ahead, job postings that look legit.
Everything, down to the handbook, all the letters, proper English, proper punctuation, real names.
But it's the work of a scammer. We'll tell you how to spot the signs, because falling victim could also land you in hot water with the law.
Plus, this college student making sure every child has access to the ice.
There's not a lot of opportunities, I feel, for minorities to be in this type of sport.
The hockey haven he created for children.
The COVID-19 pandemic brought a major cultural shift in the U.S. labor force, a dramatic increase in employees working from home. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, during the height of the pandemic, a third of adults in the U.S. worked from home. Today, 76% of Americans work remotely at least some of the time. And with no commute to work and more flexibility, remote jobs have grown in popularity.
At the same time, scammers are preying on people looking for that new job opportunity. Reporter Emily Davies spoke to a Wisconsin woman who's glad she went with her gut when she spotted the red flags.
Jennifer Hagen is working hard.
It's almost like a full-time job, just looking for one.
To find the perfect fit. She's done remote contract work in the past, so when someone reached out to her offering the opportunity to interview for a remote data entry position, earning about $35 an hour, she decided to give it a shot.
We did the interview. They came back within a half hour and said, "Congratulations, you're hired."
Within a day, she received an offer letter, a handbook from Human Resources, an employee withholdings form, and employment eligibility form.
They said, "Please return this within 24 hours, sign and date." I never did.
Something felt off.
I didn't think I applied there, so that was kind of a red flag. But having your resume out online, anyone can access it.
The hiring manager told her to download an encrypted messaging app for the interview. Jennifer says they asked all of the usual questions, but she hadn't heard of the company, Greenvolt, before.
The company is legitimate. They're traded on NASDAQ. I mean, everything, down to the handbook, all the letters, proper English, proper punctuation, real names.
But she noticed a discrepancy in the email address Greenvolt's website listed communication would come from.
It was just 2 letters off.
This hiring manager had an explanation. The extra letters signaled this Portuguese company was expanding to Wausau, Wisconsin. But then she received 2 checks in the mail 2 days after receiving the job offer.
They didn't even receive my paperwork yet. So then it's like, this is not right. The following day, I also received another check, and the following day, I received another one. So I'm up to over $16,000 in checks. I was supposed to deposit them into my account, wait for them to clear, and then purchase office equipment.
She then asked how many minutes it would take to do this.
I just want to warn people, I did 4 days of research. I talked to 2 lawyers. I talked to you, I talked to banks.
Intercity State Bank confirmed the checks were fraudulent.
It's way more often than what people would think.
Chris Fender says they get questions about possible scams from customers on a weekly basis. He and Michael Domke, the state's Consumer Protection Bureau director, say the pandemic caused more people to work remotely, and they saw a rise in related scams.
That creates an open door and opportunity for scammers to try and solicit more individuals to either fraudulently work from home or make those pitches to do so.
They noticed several red flags in Jennifer's scenario, like that she was contacted through Facebook, then downloading a separate app for communication.
That may create a backdoor opportunity to get onto that device.
Then there's the demeanor and instructions around money and personal information.
A great sense of urgency. We need you to do this as soon as possible. Have you done it yet?
Fill out this application, give us a little bit more information. Unknowingly, you're providing a lot more than you really would normally put out, into the digital atmosphere.
Greenvolt confirmed that it did not reach out to Jennifer with a job offer. It has since changed the information on its job page, noting how you can confirm communication is coming from them. But had Jennifer followed the fake hiring manager's instructions, she could be out money, personal information, and potentially face charges of fraud.
If it's a fraudulent check and that money has gone, you are now responsible for those charges. And that's when things get very difficult.
So if you're on the hunt for a remote opportunity, here's some red flags from the AARP. The job posting claims no skills or experience is required, or it offers high pay for little to no work. And if you're required to pay up front for training, certifications, or material, it's probably a scam.
Next on Investigate TV Plus, scoring goals and breaking barriers.
Basically increase accessibility to hockey for kids that really don't have access to the sport.
Meet the college student who's bringing his love of hockey to kids in his community.
The best part is learning and having fun.
I'm Viv Williams with a medical myth buster moment. Can't lose weight no matter how hard you try? Experts at Vanderbilt University say that diet and exercise alone rarely results in successful weight loss for people with severe obesity. In that case, weight loss surgery may be an option. But the Vanderbilt experts want you to beware of a myth they published on their website. Weight loss surgery is an easy way out. While experts agree surgeries such as gastric bypass or sleeve gastrectomy can be very effective, they are not easy. Preparing for and recovering from surgery takes time, effort, and many follow-up appointments. For the right people, weight loss surgery can help to improve overall health and quality of life. With this medical mythbuster, I'm Viv Williams.
Hockey is a sport that requires toughness and teamwork, but there's still a long way to go before everyone is represented on the ice.
According to the NHL's latest diversity and inclusion report, fewer than 4% of players in the league are black. Now the NHL and hockey programs across the country are working to bring a love of the sport to a more diverse audience.
Reporter Wendell Edwards takes us to New Haven, Connecticut, where a college student is creating a hockey haven for kids of color.
Raised near the South Shore of Boston,
Played hockey my whole life growing up.
Aaron Marcel played hockey at every level.
Played all the way through select hockey as a youth player, high school, college, club hockey, and then even now in my men's league.
But Aaron has never played with a person of color on his team.
What's going on? What's up?
Until now.
The lack of diversity in the sport, I really wanted to do something that could impact the culture and, shift the game.
A Quinnipiac's medical student created this club called Hockey Haven. He, along with some of his fellow medical school students, train and teach students all about the game, from skating to scoring. It's bringing the game straight to them.
Basically increase accessibility to hockey for kids that really don't have access to the sport, because hockey is specifically exclusive to people that aren't affluent white.
The training is free, so is the equipment, and the time on the ice donated.
The New York Rangers provide all the funding for equipment and the ice time, so we're able to make everything totally free for all the players involved.
That's the main reason mom Jasmine Lyle allowed her son to suit up.
There's not a lot of opportunities, I feel, for minorities to be in this type of sport. Number one, it's really expensive. And number two, I thought it would be a great opportunity for him.
An opportunity that Aaron says he wants to see continue to grow. As for the kids,
Do you like hockey?
Yeah,
Why?
because it's fun.
they seem to be learning and loving it.
The best part is like learning and having fun. When you first get on it, it feels like you fall.
Yeah.
When you first get on it.
You gotta learn, right? You're gonna keep doing it?
Yeah,
Why?
because I really like hockey.
Aaron says that's the whole point, to make hockey accessible for all.
And once you see the kids out here skating and the parents smiling and everybody's just having so much fun, it's really making an impact.
An impact that's clearly...
Where's your stick? Does your mom have it?
Making a difference as profound as black and white.
Well, those kids were definitely having a lot of fun. You could tell it wasn't their first time out there.
No, I mean, because skating and all that
Yeah.
stuff, the coordination, it's a very difficult sport to pick up. They're pretty good.
They're going to be good at it.
Yes, they are.
In June of 2023, Tennessee State became the first HBCU to offer hockey as a sport.
All right, that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Thanks for watching.
Next time on Investigate TV Plus, rare access inside the Drug Enforcement Administration.
In my 20 years with DEA, this is the most deadly drug that I've seen.
See efforts to track down counterfeit prescription pills laced with fentanyl.
Plus, a family claims a patient died unnecessarily after being placed on a do not resuscitate order without their knowledge.
I said, you don't understand, she's not capable of signing a DNR.
What our investigation revealed about dozens of other patients.